You know you're in Canada when you step outside and it just looks like this. I don't know if you can see anything here. It's so white and there's so much snow. Let me try turning down the exposure. This is crazy. All right, my friends, let's talk about training in the winter. In Canada, we don't get much room to play unless you have a really fat mountain bike with some thick tires. But when you're out here in Canada and you're getting, what is this? I think 20 inches of snow, then you got to play around with what you're actually doing for your training. So let me get in the office and we'll chat. Full disclosure, I am now inside and it is tomorrow. It's the next day from when I recorded the last video outside, but we still have a lot of snow. Those are our footsteps from yesterday. All snowed over. So if you are a beginner cyclist or this is your first winter training on the bike, then this is going to be a little bit more beneficial for you. If you are a more amateur cyclist, you probably know everything I'm going to say in this video, but if you want to stick around, feel free to. I will probably talk about some techniques to make some of the stuff we have to do in the winter to survive a little bit more bearable. All right, so let's talk about first on the bike. You have a few options as a beginner cyclist. Option number one is depending on where you live. If the climate is good enough, then go outside. This is generally feasible if the temperature is like maybe above -5 Celsius. If it is lower than that, it gets really hard, especially with the wind. You really gotta layer up. So I'm gonna make a video in the future about layering and how to layer in the winter. Essentially, it can be a little bit difficult to layer up and still stay warm and enjoy your ride when it's lower than -5. Every time I've tried, I've just been really cold. If it's above -5 Celsius, 23 degrees Fahrenheit, then you might have a little bit more wiggle room here because layering gets easier. You can still stay warm outside, so it's actually a little bit better. And this also depends on road conditions, and also the bike that you have. So if you have a really expensive bike, even as a beginner cyclist, and there is salt on the roads and it's wet outside, you don't really want to damage your bike. Like, things cost money on expensive bikes. Bearings and like salt can ruin some things, and you rust, and the chain and the gears and cassette and everything. You just don't really want to damage your bike just to get out for a ride. And it's a mistake I've made many times, and I ended up having to replace my wheels because I rode outside for almost the entire winter, and then my bearings went out, and then it was more than just a bearing issue. There was actually cracks in my frame because I was exposing it to extreme temperatures, and so crack in the frame of the wheel, I should state, not in the frame of the bike, thank God. So that's option number one. I would recommend getting a cheaper bike, whether it be made out of steel or just like a commuter bike of some sort, so that you can go outside without having to worry about your expensive bike. That's number one. So you can get maybe like a fat mountain bike with the really thick tires, especially if you have this much snow. That's something that you might want. Gravel bike is also a good option. It's literally made for tougher conditions, but a road bike is not ideal in these situations. Trail riding is fantastic. So if you do get a mountain bike, hopping out on a trail, if you have trails near you, could be a lot of fun. So that's option number one, going outside. Option number two, either your own indoor trainer or going to like an indoor spin class of some sort. I recommend the indoor trainer. It's a little bit more of an investment. You're probably gonna have to buy one, or you can do rollers, which is a skill that you might have to learn to balance the bike while you're on the roller. That one is easy because you don't have to buy anything else, and you could just like play with your gears as if you were riding your bike. You just do need to learn how to balance. The indoor trainer is easier in the sense that you don't need to do anything. You just attach your bike and you're good to go, but it is a little bit more of an investment. Pros about the indoor trainer are, you just attach your bike and you're good. You can connect it to Zwift. It automatically changes your power. It usually has a power meter attached depending on the trainer that you have. And so it'll automatically change your power. So that's something called erg mode. So if you are doing a workout and you want your power to, let's say, stay between 180 to 200 watts, the trainer will automatically set it there based on the cadence that you are currently holding. And so if you increase the cadence, it will lower the resistance. If you decrease the cadence, it will increase the resistance, and it will keep you. So it's a smart trainer. and it connects automatically to your Zwift or to your Whoosh or to your Ruvi or to your Training Peaks Virtual, whatever the heck you're using. So there are all these different platforms that you can use in order to ride inside and kind of make the experience a little bit more bearable. There are also routes that you can do, and depending on the trainer you get like, you know, if you have the Wahoo Kicker with the Climb Core or whatever it is, then you can actually simulate the gradient. So that's the indoor trainer. It's currently what I have. Now, cons of this are it can get really boring when you are spending months at a time on the indoor trainer. Like, genuinely, it can get so boring when you're sitting there for, like, even today I plan on doing 2 hours. It's just like, I dread it. I haven't even ridden my bike in 6 days because I went out for a business conference and I just got back a few days ago, but I still don't even want to get on the bike and ride because, like, I dread the indoor trainer. So that's the biggest con, is like, you probably may not enjoy your workout. Look how genuinely just like depressing this is. So this is my towel of shame. Got the shoes there. Like, okay, here's what's been helping is I have this enormous TV, and so when I turn Zwift on, I can turn the lights in this room off and I can just stare at the TV, which kind of like sucks me into the game in a way. But this is like the pain cave and I hate being down here. That being said, let's talk about some ways to make it better. Option number one are workouts. So if you have pre-scheduled workouts or pre-planned workouts that you know you have to do and that you're coming up, then it could just be a little bit more mentally motivating. Option number two, this isn't even an option, this is probably like necessary, music. Otherwise you're just sitting there listening to the trainer and the fan, and that can get kind of boring. So get some AirPods in or some music of some sort and just jam out. I sometimes listen to a podcast or have a YouTube video in the background just to keep a little bit of entertainment on. The third thing that you could do would be races or events of some sort. So like hopping on there with your friends and doing a little local route that you guys just challenge yourself with, or doing a race against some strangers on the internet who you know you're all on the same platform and you're all at this riding at the same time. So doing a race could be a little bit more motivating to get on there, and also you get to challenge yourself and test yourself. So that's how I kind of make it a little bit more bearable. Oh, and also depending on the length of your ride, have some food with you so at least you can keep fueling and having some snacks, depending on length and intensity of the ride. Because if it's like a 40-minute zone 2, which why are you doing a 40-minute zone 2? But if it's a 40-minute zone 2, then you probably don't need this. Third option, which is option 2B, is the indoor spin class. So this is where you go to like a local gym or a Good Life or a local spin class, and you just kind of like bang out a workout with their spin instructor. Not a bad option, honestly. Like, you're getting a lot of the same cardiovascular benefits. My reservation is the bike is likely not fitted to you. And so a lot of the work we do on our bikes is in certain positions. So like, especially if you're training for a time trial, then, you know, getting into that position and learning to maintain this position for hours at a time is part of the game. And it's part of the adaptations that you want your body to adapt to, that you want to expose your body to. But if you're on a spin bike, you're not really getting that. You're not getting the postural or the bike fit adaptations, if that makes sense. So the positions we have to put our body in is also something that we want to expose ourselves to, something that we want to get better at, getting into an aero tuck or training in different positions. When you're in a spin class, you can't really get into an aero tuck. You can't really train into the positions that you want to train in. And so you're just kind of getting the cardio benefits, which are huge. The cardio benefits are very important, to just know that it is a limitation. Second of all, usually the spin classes are limited to 1 hour. And so you're always only gonna get a 1 hour workout. So you can't really change or play with your distance. You can't really play with your time on the bike or the intensity, because they're all pre-planned for you and not based on your goals, but just based on burning calories. So that is a limitation as well. All right, so those are the bike side of things. You can either go outside or you can do 2 indoor types, either the indoor trainer or an indoor spin class. For strength training, just keep doing what you're doing. Honestly, you're probably in a gym, or like me, I'm doing at-home workouts. The weather's not really affecting me. So you could just keep strength training at the gym or indoor. It doesn't really change anything. This is the part of the basement that we actually train in. That's literally all I have. You got a few weights here, which go up to 90 pounds. And I have a really intense game of Monopoly with my wife going on. And I have, hopefully you can see now, this pull-up bar is probably my favorite thing in here. The intense game of Monopoly is second, and then weights, foam roller. Like, this is all I use on a daily basis to get basically 100% of my strength training in. So to those who are like, I don't have a gym membership, I'm not able to train, I don't have anything I need, I literally get more results with 2 dumbbells, a foam roller, and a pull-up bar, and my body weight than most people do with a whole gym membership. Finally, last thing I want to show you is the weather in Canada right now. Don't know if you could see how much snow that is, but that is about a meter. So what is that, 3.5 feet, maybe 4 feet for you Americans out there of snow. It's a little just messed up how much snow we got. That, if you look over there, don't tell my mother-in-law that our gazebo broke. Anyways, I mean, listen, winter's not fun. The hard part is, like, I came from Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and I was riding for 2 weeks outside midwinter, which is just gorgeous weather. And then you come back and you're like stuck in minus 16 degrees Celsius. It feels like minus 21, minus 6 Fahrenheit. So it is cold. But anyways, fellow veterans, keep crushing it. For my beginner cyclists, welcome to your first winter. Good luck. All right, guys, real quick. My editor said I should do this, and I don't know if I should. And so I want to ask your opinion. Do you enjoy this kind of vlogging content where I'm basically just talking to the camera? Well, I mean, all my content is talking to the camera, but in this kind of sense, you know, I'm talking to you like, I'm not teaching. It's more so like entertainment, and you're watching a day in the life of an entrepreneur who's trying to build their coaching business and change lives and grow, help people get closer in the faith with Christ, and like also wake up at 4 a.m. and take care of a family. Like, do you care about this kind of stuff, or do you hear more so for the education? So that's kind of my question, because I had a little bit of an argument with my editor saying, I don't think people are here for vlogging content. I don't think anyone really cares. And I wouldn't blame you if you don't. I'd rather your brutal honesty. It's just like, let me know, like, I don't care for this, I wouldn't watch this, or let me know in the comments if you would watch it. That would be really helpful to tailor what I want to do with this channel and where I want to take it. Like, are we keeping it strictly education, or are we keeping it a little bit more entertainment based? That'll be really helpful. Thanks. I gotta stop with the snapping, honestly. Sorry, guys.